Ellie is on a mission to create a diverse, inclusive, data-driven universe through creating inspirational content and creating relatable role models for the younger generation. So the floor is yours, Ellie.
Hi everyone, it is such a pleasure to be with you here today to celebrate International Women's Day. Thank you so much, Magenta Codes and Women Tech Makers for making this happen. And there's been some incredible lightning talks so far. So today I would like to talk to you about building resilience in an ever-challenging world. And I'm going to share my screen with you right now. Can everybody see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. This is a quote that truly resonates with me in the face of adversity and building resilience. Some of you may recognize this quote. It is indeed by Albus Dumbledore. I have to say, I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd, so I had to throw this in there, but it really resonates with me. And I want you to give thought to this quote whenever you're faced with adversity and you need to build resilience. And also give thought to this throughout my presentation. We live in an ever-challenging world. So building resilience in the face of adversity, it really is paramount, not only for our personal, but our career progression. The thing about adversity is it doesn't discriminate. We each have our own unique experiences and challenges and hardships, whether that be rejections, not receiving that promotion we were so hoping for, the loss of a loved one, a global pandemic. The list really does go on. And although we each have our own unique experiences of adversity, we will always have one thing in common. Resilience is what will pull us through. I'd like to start with a story. A 25-year-old wakes up on Sunday, the 8th of March, 2020, like any normal Sunday, ready to enjoy the last day of their weekend, chill out, relax, and get ready for the week ahead. And they receive a phone call that will change their life forever. This phone call was informing them that their 21-year-old sister had sadly and unexpectedly passed away. Hanging up the phone, the whirlwind of emotion kicks in, the body goes into shock, and that individual moved back to their family home to be there for their sister, who was 12 years old, and their mother, to really be a strong support system, to take care of those who needed her more than ever, and to pick up the pieces of what was now a very broken home. The next few weeks were a complete blur, and a few weeks more passed, and that same individual received yet another phone call that would change their life forever. Not that they thought it could change much more. This was informing them that their granddad, who was their role model, their best friend, who they lived with for 2 years prior to moving back to the family home, had sadly passed away from an illness that they were dealing with for some time. Here we have someone who was taken away far too soon. And although the pain wasn't any easier, that individual could take some kind of comfort in knowing that their granddad had really lived a fulfilling life. Now, throw in a global pandemic and just going into a national lockdown, this added an extra layer of adversity, uncertainty, confusion, and it meant that that individual was unable to give their loved ones the send-off that they truly deserved. So in the face of such adversity and trauma, that individual had two choices. Number one, do they let this experience define and destroy them? Do they fall into a deep, dark hole of depression, consuming them with no way out? Or number two, do they use this experience to help shape them to be a better, stronger version of themselves, not only for them, but for their family, to fuel their motivation to do better in every aspect? Fast forward 1 year, that same individual has just purchased their first ever home and secured a mortgage, has lectured at virtual universities and spoke at many non-profit organizations, really to help inspire, educate, empower, has co-hosted a virtual event on the 1-year anniversary of their sister's passing on International Women's Day, with the purpose to really inspire, empower, encourage, and has established and built a YouTube channel which is creating inspirational content, again, with the purpose to inspire, empower, and encourage. So I want to ask you, out of the 2 choices that this individual had, what do you think they chose? Now, I'm here to tell you that person in the story is me. And I'm not sharing this for sympathy. I've certainly accepted that this really is a part of life. And I'm not saying that it was easy. It took focus, it took commitment. There were bad days, there still are bad days, and that's okay. When it comes to building resilience in adversity, take those days to be emotional, scream into a pillow, whatever gives you that release. Allow those bad seconds, minutes, hours. And I'm not here to boast about the achievements, because everybody deals with things differently and in their own way. And again, that really is okay. But adversity can be a very dark place where sometimes you feel like there's no way out. And I'm here today to tell you that you are stronger than you think you are. You can get through this, and you are never alone. So I want to share some of the things that have really helped me to build resilience and get through such adversity that you can apply to any challenge in life. Now, I just want to say, I'm not saying I'm an expert in this, but it did help me, and I really, really hope that it can help you. The thing about adversity, it's a great teacher. So when it comes to building resilience, the first thing you should look to do is take the time to self-reflect. Take the time to get to know your adversity. Analyze the pain points. Become your adversity's best friend. Really get to know everything about them. Explore the emotions, the feelings that it's put you through. And trust me, it's not easy. It is painful. But take that time to really analyze, what can you change? What can't you change? What can you learn? For me, I certainly couldn't change what happened to my granddad and my sister. But what I could change was being that role model for my younger sister, who needed me now more than ever, to be a strong support system for my family. And what could I learn? Life really is way too short, and to live every moment to the absolute fullest with no regrets. Once you've taken the time to self-reflect in the face of adversity, to build resilience, begin to shift your outlook and your mindset, and start to work to accept and find your focus. Now, acceptance doesn't have to happen straight away. And to be honest, it probably won't. But this will start to occur throughout your self-reflection. Really take the time to accept in order to build that resilience. And realign with your why and your personal mission statement. When you're faced with adversity, you can almost feel quite lost. You lose your sense of direction and purpose. And to build resilience, you need to find that. You need to realign. 2 books that really stood out for me was Simon Sinek's Start With Why and Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And both of these books had a real common theme, and it is based around your why, your personal mission statement. So when you want to build resilience, start to think, what do you now want in your life? Where do you want to be in 5, 10, 15 years? How do you want to be remembered, and why? So find your purpose. For me, it's making my granddad and my sister proud in absolutely everything that I do. Every decision that I make is aligned to my personal mission statement. So I always have that in the back of my mind. And to be honest, it's given me the motivation to keep going and to actually achieve more than I ever thought I could imagine, coming out of my comfort zone. So be sure to realign with your mission statement. Stop living in the past. When it comes to resilience, shift your mindset. Outside of thinking, why me, and feeling sorry for yourself, take a solution-oriented approach, almost like you would if you were coding. Again, it's okay to allow these moments of sadness, but don't let them consume you, because life will always move forward. Unfortunately, it's not going to wait around for anyone. So realize that dwelling is damaging. You've done the self-reflection, you've done the acceptance. How can you move forward and learn from this experience? Something that helped me was a book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. The power of now shows you that every minute you spend worrying about the future or regretting the past is a minute lost, because really all you have to live in is the present and the now. A quote in the book, that really resonated with me is, if your mind carries a heavy burden of past, you will experience more of the same. The past perpetuates itself through lack of presence. The quality of your consciousness at this time and moment is what shapes the future. And I just feel that is so powerful. The next step to take when it comes to building resilience is start small. Celebrate the little wins. A little win is personal to you that you can decide. It could be dragging yourself out of bed in the morning, getting yourself ready for a day at home office. It really is down to you to decide what that is. Don't run before you can walk. It's not going to be easy, but make sure that it's in line with your why and your purpose, the little wins that you set out. So what really helped me, again, to have that sense of focus and direction in such a traumatic time, was setting 3 daily goals. 3 goals that you can tick off throughout your day, and actually ticking those goals off when it comes to building resilience gives you that sense of fulfillment. It releases some kind of endorphin in your mind where you feel like you're getting somewhere. Now, I just want to say that there may be some days where you don't tick anything off. I've certainly experienced that. And again, that is absolutely fine. Take the time to reflect as to why that didn't work out. Tomorrow is a new day, fresh perspective, fresh outlook. And finally, when it comes to building resilience, connect, interact, and engage. I have to say that this really is a tough one. Some days when you're in the face of adversity, you really do not want to talk to anybody. But force yourself into the habit of speaking out. Share your experiences, share your problems with friends, family, colleagues. Join groups or supportive networks that may be within the same areas as you. If you're struggling and facing adversity when it comes to applying to jobs, for example, speak to recruiters, share your problems. You are in charge of getting yourself on the right track, but others really will help guide you to your destination. And remember that a problem shared really is a problem halved. I want to say thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and always give thought to what you lose in the face of adversity, but show relentless gratitude for what you have. Never give up, keep going. And if anybody's struggling with feelings in adversity or building resilience, please know that my inbox is always open, and I would love to get connected with you through my social platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ellie, for sharing your personal story. That takes a lot of courage. And I also think that it's easy to forget, to live in the presence, and to stop yourself also from dwelling on the past. And I think you gave us some really good advice, and I will definitely look into it myself. And also I think it's very important to not be alone in all this and try to interact with others like we're doing right now, because I think lots of the problems can be easily solved if we talk to others and share. So thank you so much.
Thank you.